One of my favorite, we have a lot of people to recognize tonight, and I don't want to take too much of your time because you're here because you want to celebrate the successes and the recognition of your community neighbors, whether they be teachers or law enforcement or child workers or whatever the capacity. We're here to celebrate those who have given duty and service to community just like our veterans gave service and duty to our country. Sometimes we don't often stop and say thank you. And the fact that the American Legion is the one that sponsors this event, I think says a great deal about these veterans' commitment to making sure that service is recognized at the local level, as well as the service that is performed to help keep our country safe and free. One of my favorite pieces is not something I wrote, and some of you have probably heard it before, but it was written by our friend Clem McSpadden, a good friend who lost his life to cancer last summer. And anybody that's ever attended a rodeo in the state of Oklahoma that's alive today has probably heard Clem McSpadden at some point in time. A great servant to the state of Oklahoma, a great servant as a United States Congressman, but oh, how he loved the men and women of rodeo, because he thought that those efforts, that those athletes in that arena were some of the most deeply rooted in the values that he considered to be most American. And Clem wrote a couple of different pieces. One was a cowboy's prayer that he would frequently give at a rodeo if that was his position, to give an invocation. And another was about our American flag. And some of you may have heard it, but I'm going to bet that most of you have not. And I wanted to end tonight by reading you what Clem McSpadden said our flag would say if our flag could talk. And that's the name of his piece, If Our Flag Could Talk. If our flag could talk, here is what she might say. I was born on the 4th of July back in 1776, and as they say out west, I was bred right. My father was the Bill of Rights, and my mother was the Declaration of Independence. I am many things to many people. I am American. I am more than 200 million strong, and the ghost of those who have died for me. Ever since Betsy Ross sewed my first Stars and Stripes, there have been trouble spots in this old world, and I've always answered that call and stayed until it was over there. By doing so, I've left many of my finest young men and women who have made the supreme sacrifice to perpetuate my brand of living. I've left them in places like Kerala, Iwo Jima, Korea, the steamy jungles of Vietnam, the Persian Gulf, and more recently in far-off places called Afghanistan and Iraq. I'm a wheat field in Kansas and a cotton field down south. I'm the Golden Gate Bridge and a wobbly-legged calf getting his first bit of nourishment from his mama in the rangelands of the West. I'm old Freckles Brown riding the bull Tornado at the 1967 National Finals Rodeo, a bull that had never been ridden before. I am 300,000 churches where my people worship as they choose, and I'm a hushed voice of a choir in a cathedral. I was born in freedom, and God willing, in freedom I'll spend the rest of my days. May my people always have the strength, the integrity, the honor, and the courage to keep me free and a beacon of hope for the entire world. Yes, that's what I'd say if I could talk. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Jerry. And you've solved the problem of the mic. You have solved it.
I'm a problem solver.
As we